those that are existing in a current situation of estrangement, is there one final piece of insight or encouragement you can share?
Yes. Whether you are a parent who's unwillingly estranged, or an adult child who has made the difficult choice to estrange your parent, you are a good person. You are essentially and at heart a good person. You're not doing this, and you didn't do anything because you're bad. Good people can and do misunderstand and hurt each other. It's not either or. Either I was horrid and abusive to my child and I'm bad and evil and that's why they're estranging me, or my child is evil and bad to me for doing so. That's not how this is. You're both good people, and I think you need to start from that assumption and really bring compassion to the picture, always.
Beautiful. That's such beautiful advice, Tina. Thank you. If you could offer one piece of advice from the heart, something that you found to be helpful, or a final piece of insight or encouragement for anyone that is going through family estrangement or family separation, what would that be?
You can't control the outcome. No matter how much you wish for a certain outcome or you want it to be, you can't make it happen. The only thing that you get to control is your side of the relationship and your own healing. And you can't make someone else change. You can't make someone else see your point of view. And you can't predict the future. I think those are the two things. I think until both people have died, you really don't know what the final outcome is going to be.
Exactly. That's wonderful advice. Wonderful. And so needed, because that's something definitely that is a very real struggle when facing separation from a family member. So that's beautiful advice. So thank you for sharing. Do you have one final piece of advice from the heart you can share? A piece of insight or encouragement for anyone that is existing there?
Well, I think the first thing is you're not alone.
Yes, true.
And then also just to know that you never know. Maybe the person next to you in the grocery line is experiencing it, and you'll never know. But just know that you're not alone, and that also forgive them. Forgive yourself, which sometimes is the hardest thing, for not being able to be different way back then. And keep the hope alive and the door open for reconnection, and to laugh between the pain. And that sometimes is the tallest order, but I think that can really help so much.
Definitely. Well, thank you for that. That's beautiful advice you've shared. Do you have one final piece of advice from the heart that you could share, a piece of insight or encouragement for people that are existing in family estrangement?
I think it's to work on your self-love and your self-compassion, that however, whatever mistakes you made, you don't deserve to have your child never talk to you again. And so it's really critically important to work on your own feelings of value, to remember positive things that you've done, to work on whatever mistakes that you make, and maybe we all make them, to work on your self-compassion, your self-forgiveness. I think those are really the most critical pieces.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Dr. Coleman. Barbra, based on your own personal journey, is there any encouragement or one final piece of advice you can give from the heart to anyone that is currently living with conflict or separation in their family?
Thank you so much for the question of what has been the greatest impact in my life from this journey of estrangement. You know, none of us escape grief or suffering in our lives, but this one of estrangement truly threw me to the bottom of the pit. And it led me on a path of looking within, and to note that the definition of reconciliation means to harmonize and to bring together. And I knew that I had to harmonize and bring together the fractured pieces that were within myself, which led me on such a path of learning, first of all, with a strategy such as radical acceptance, to being able to accept what is, and then other strategies like looking at faulty thinking and how my emotions affected my behavior, and mindfulness, being aware of what was going on at each present moment, and self-compassion, kindness, and love for myself. This has been a rocky road, but in the end, I feel more whole, more able to communicate, more able to act from a wise place, to make decisions based on good and true information instead of false or misguided or misunderstood information. So I hope everyone has that same success of bringing together the pieces within themselves with self-respect for who they are at the end of the journey. Thank you.
Barbra, that's such beautiful advice. Thank you so much for sharing with us from the heart today. To those that are existing within a current situation of estrangement and really wanting to reclaim their life, do you have one final piece of advice from the heart that you can share?
I really want to implore people to be open to the possibility that they can be happy again, because even something so devastating, or that we feel so connected to, maybe we even feel responsible, at some point, whether that's sensible or not. It's something that we can feel much differently about over time, because we grow and we change, and we might even recognize patterns in our family lives, even throughout the generations, that can, maybe contributed to the estrangement, or that better explain things and help us to get unstuck. So hindsight really allows for clarity. If we'll work on ourselves and on finding lives beyond parenting and trust that we can have a good life, then your perspective will change. And there's a whole big world out there. And so don't waste your life being stuck, because time goes by, it's fleeting. And then, you'll wake up one day and think, wow, 10 years have gone by and I haven't done anything. I'm not myself anymore. So don't let that happen. Trust. Trust. That's what I want to implore people to trust that things will change for them. Things can get better. They can work on making that so.
Sheri, thank you. That is such beautiful wisdom and encouragement. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to share my own thoughts from the heart for anyone living with struggles and separation. And I want to remind you to believe again. Believe in change and possibilities. Believe in healing. Believe in the life that exists in you and around you. Believe in the love that exists in you and around you. Believe that you are more than enough and you are more than your struggles. Believe you are a good person. Believe in yourself again and believe in life again.